Welcome back, my little recusants, to another episode of our Final Fantasy II 100% guide. We have just finished up in Mysidia, and we now have to journey across the swamps and across the way to basically progress the story. And like that, we have not, unfortunately, found any new enemies that we need to work through, and we're now level 13 on Cure. You know, absolutely aged amazing. Brilliant to have it. And again, I'm just trying to level up the Holy Spell. We got recusant the Holy Spell while within Mysidia. And we're basically now, you know, powering up Holy to level 4 at this point. You know, it really levels up quite quickly. And obviously trying to keep Tainted and her magic levels going up as well, which is always what we want. But yeah, Holy is just completely OP. It'll just do really good damage, especially obviously against undead, which, you know, is the obvious situation. Now, we're after encountering killer fish. There are certain enemies that we are going to need to do some hunting for specifically. And now, I'm convinced we already have all these monsters, so I am not the least bit concerned. But basically, when it gets to a bit further on in the story, there will be a complete change up of the random encounter tables. So if you weren't as thorough as I've been collecting all the different monsters that you can encounter, you will end up missing out on being able to encounter them, and therefore missing out on your 100%. I will specifically pause in the video and say, okay guys, these are the monsters you're going to need to specifically hunt for in order to 100% before we go too far. But I just know that killer fish is one of them. The sea encounters get completely overhauled. The land encounters get overhauled. Things like that. But we approached this area before. The little tropical island. And we're now going to have no encounters on. And we're going to just run through, collect every treasure chest. And basically, once we unlock everything, we're going to then run through the encounters. Now, I think I made it clear the last episode that we're going to be going through 2 dungeons, basically, this episode. We're going to go to the tropical island, then we're going through the ancient temple. And in this ancient temple, where we end up meeting a doppelganger, so it's not a doppelganger of doppelganger, it's a recusant doppelganger. And this is what we're hunting in this cave for. We're looking for the counterpart of the white mask, which is the black mask, and it's going to be able to completely dispel and, I suppose, banish this recusant doppelganger that is going to bar our path getting into the other temple. But just follow my pathing when it comes to collecting all the treasure chests. I do get a little bit turned around, I can't lie. I do end up kind of being like, oh, wait, which way am I going? But this maze is quite labyrinthine, in fairness. And we do get an achievement for opening 50% of all the treasure chests in the game. So we are halfway there, living on a prayer. And when it comes to, I suppose, the treasures, always know that you can open up the full minimap if you so wish, just to, you know, see what's missing, see what's there, and how you have to get there. The only issue is that there's so many up and down staircases that it legitimately does require you going down one flight, going up, and then going down a different flight. It's all chopping and changing an awful lot. But there's only 20 chests and we're already 11 out of 20 through there, so It's just now the case of literally taking certain stairs to go certain other areas to get one chest and then backtrack all the way down again, you know? So for example, here we are in basement floor 3, and odds are we're not going to be able to get everywhere we could want. So yeah, it's just the case of getting to another floor and then going, okay, there's 4 different ways or 5 different ways I can go up or down, so let's go back and forth to all these different areas just to make sure we get everything we could want. Death Idol, very ominous treasure. 1000 gil, you know, less ominous. And we're getting so many tomes, guys. Oh my god. A part of me is like, do I teach DJ a spell or two? Just to give him something else to do other than punch. And yeah, so now we need to go find how to get to those 3 other treasure chests in the lower area. Yeah, it's going to probably be the upper right-hand side. So again, we're going down to go up, to go down, to go up. And then once you see another treasure chest, you're like, oh, I have to find that one now as well. So, yeah, it's a lot. Sleepgrass, and monsters. The joys. And now we have the wild horn and the poison toad. And I can tell you guys for free now that it's in fact the next tier of toad that ends up being our absolute nightmare. It's just so so gross. Absolute nightmare of a situation. Trying to find this purple toad, not the orange toad, the purple tiered toad. Absolute head melt. Oh my god, it drove me insane. But now we only need one more treasure, which is the little treasure that we saw in the little tiny nook in floor 3. So, yeah, it's just about literally experimenting now and just going up and down the stairs being like, okay, how do I get to this particular stairway? Yeah, that's the only other one we need, and then we just have to get to the end of the dungeon where our key item is. And I think this has us. Yes, exactly. Now it's another monster encounter. And with Holy level 5, we should see all these undead absolutely explode. Almost all of them. But Layla getting a nice KO for once. We love that. Pop off queen. And then I end up getting totally turned about and end up in the wrong area. Which is kind of comedic. But it's okay. Don't worry. You know, we'll get there eventually. What I do find super exciting is the Ultima Tome. And I suppose I'm going to ask chat, and I'm going to post the Discord as well. By the way, if you haven't checked out the Discord, it's linked on my main channel. Please join us. We mainly just have little polls for like future questions and stuff, and people can chat there. It's a pretty chill vibe. I'm trying to think of like what do I specifically do on the Discord other than polls. Do I post memes? I don't know. I'm trying to kind of ponder what I do with it exactly. But I will be posting on that chat as well as a post who gets the Ultima Tome, because I'm after reading information that basically explains that the Ultima Tome is actually like ran off spirit and not black, like intellect, black magic. So actually recusant would be the better mage, quote unquote, to have access to that magic. But in the same breath, you know, recusant is the white mage, he's the healer, he's the buffer, he's the supporter. Like, I feel bad that recusant gets holy and Ultima. So I do think Tainted should get Ultima. And then I'm sure when she uses Ultima, she'll then end up gaining, you know, more spirit as it levels up as well. So But I just said I'd ask. I'd said, do you want it to go to Recusant or do you want it to go to Tainted? Let me know in the comments below. All these little guys running around with their masks on. Super wholesome, super cute. Turning on the encounters just because we now only have the yellow jellies and stuff. We have a couple of monsters to find, but in the same breath, we only have the one treasure chest left to find. So in the journey to that last treasure chest, we may as well have the encounters on until we get there, you know? And just having a quick check on the bestiary. How are we progressing? We're on 76. You know, not too bad at all. And yeah, like when it comes to Wild Horde, Poison Toe, and our yellow jelly, I believe that was pretty much all of them. I'm not kind of going to a blank number and saying, oh, these are still waiting. So I think we actually have every encounter now. And as I say, just making our way back. Getting rid of some more poison toads, getting our holies more and more leveled. It's pretty great. We have Radiant Fire and we have Fire, so, you know, our firepower is off the charts. A part of me wonders, does like single targeting just impact the spell leveling more? I'm not sure. But yeah, just like that, we realize, yeah, no, we have all the encounters now, so let's just get to the end of the dungeon, please. And the funny thing is, like, I actually made it to this area. This area is at the end of the dungeon. We just had to kind of go up and around in all other sorts of areas before we finished it off. Into the boss battle, heal up if you need to. There's absolutely no shame in just sorting through your bits and pieces and just making sure you're fully healed for what's about to happen. So again, I just hammer out 1,000,001 ethers until everyone's flush with magical power. And DJ 100%, it does guard the mask. It being plural, so really it should have been these guard the mask, these big horns. And with that, we do end up not taking out any of them. So in hindsight, maybe just doing single target spells would just allow Tainted and Recusant to just at least take stuff out in one go. But who am I to argue, I suppose. It's all just coming down to DJ one punching them anyway for nearly 2k damage. DJ getting closer and closer to that max HP level, and we've now found the black mask within the chest, so now we have to go to Mysidia Cave and explore the depths of that to find the rod that's going to help us unlock the Ultima Magic Tome. And just like that, we're checking in. We've gotten all the treasure chests from everywhere, bar Flynn, but don't worry about Flynn. Flynn will come at a later date. We're going to be alright. Use the teleporter to get out quickly. And then, yeah, just hop in the ship. We get attacked by Moose. That's fine. And then we make it back to Flynn just for a quick purchase of magic. We have lovely things like Dispel, Mini, Fog, and Slow. All really, really nice stuff. And then when we're finished up in Flynn, we're going to head on back to Mysidia Cave. So just follow me on the map. And again, we basically have to go into the inner circle of that mountain pass. And I'm just hoping if I walk there, I encounter an imp. I don't, so it's really freaking frustrating, but I'm getting random encounters nonetheless. So that's not too bad. But it does say that there is an imp encounter near Mysidia, so wherever near Mysidia it is, we're kind of struggling to get it, you know? But look, it's all EXP, it's all money, it's all gills, so no harm in farming for more of it. And again, as I said before, we just have to get to the inner working and inside of that mountain range. And, you know, Holy's leveling up, we're getting more stats. It's all quite nice. DJ is nearing ever the more closer to max HP. Like, literally, he's on the cusp, you know. Oh my god, all the different saves. It's so funny. Don't be looking too closely at the dates being like, oh my god, Recusant, the last time you played this game was way back when and we're only getting episodes now. It's like, I know, okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I struggle to keep up. Having said all that, if I didn't make a big freak out about it, you probably wouldn't have paused and rewound and gone back to scrutinize, so maybe the less said the better. Anyway, moving on from that, we have Mysidia Cave, so let's head on in. Ooh, cockatrices, we love it. We love getting ambushed by creatures that can literally stone touch our characters and turn them into stone. And just like that, we're going to turn off encounters. This one is a bit of a wild dungeon because it's like everything's like up and down stairs. It's all very kind of labyrinthine. It's a lot. But we do get the Black Garb, which I believe is a great magic accessory. Yes, 100%. Super high evasion. Nearly doubling our defense. We love it. Tainted, outfitted in like the most chicest of black satin gowns, you know, or gowns, robes. Robes, I meant to say, not gowns. Oh my god, I am not focused, guys. I do apologize. But basically, yeah, this place is a freaking nightmare. It's a freaking maze. But we will persevere. And look, a doppelganger of Recusant. But thankfully we read the lore in Mysidia that a black mask will destroy a doppelganger instantly. So we just have to go into our key items and use our glorious bell. Or bell, black mask. So that was actually a clever way to kind of gatekeep this area. Just the doppelganger's there and you can't get by it. But yeah, just checking now, you see, look, there's a little treasure chest over there to the right. And as you can see, there's actually no stairwell in. So that's a big hint that there's some sort of hidden passage somewhere there. And just like that, we find it. So, as you say, looking at it, if it doesn't make sense, then it shouldn't make sense and it's grand. Just, you know, go with that gut feeling. Nope. Wrong room. There's a lot. I believe in the original version, these rooms had like trap enemies and enemies like jumped out to jump scare you when you went into the wrong room. And I think they got taken out in the remaster, so that's why you just have so many random rooms, you know? And like, fair enough, they're just big open rooms. They don't need to have like loads of stuff in it, but like, just have something, man. Don't make it a complete waste of time for me to go exploring. We have the very famous Marlboro. Its bad breath ability is something of legend. And look at that. DJ, please. And just like that. That's why DJ's a legend. You know, magic did like negligible damage. Attacks with swords, negligible damage. DJ throwing hands, 1k damage. He's just an absolute unit. Keep in mind as well, guys, that whenever they're stunned and stuff, that can let us use Basuna and level up Rikusen's other healing spells. And if anything more permanent happens, like petrification, we can use Asuna for that. So, you know, there's always a positive benefit to getting into the battles, aside from getting, you know, money and potions. But there comes a point when a girl's got to just treasure hunt, you know? And with all these bombs, we're like, please, holy, do enough damage, please. And then stupidly, I'm like, why did I fire? And then even more weirdly, it's like, why did fire work? You know? It's like, wait a second. I was like, oh, I'm using fire. I'm such a dummy. It's going to, like, heal the enemies. And then it's like, wait. It destroyed the enemies. What? I suppose, like, scientifically, like an explosive, the flame does actually destroy the bomb itself, you know? But yeah, another nice hidden wall. We love to see it. Well, actually, we don't love to see it, but I mean, there it is. You've seen it. You can now go along and work through that, you know. There's still lots more chests, though, guys. This is where, when maps are really, really tough to navigate, it then becomes a chore to like try and find all the treasures, because you're like, oh, it's literally all over the fucking place. Very handy way to level cure quickly is if you want to teleport in and out. You'll basically drain Rikusen's health and then he can get healed for max. So, you know, don't sleep on it. So yeah, I ended up completely turned about here now. We did end up getting our lovely potion. And then I'm like, where are all these chests? I'm like, okay, well now we're getting a bit more. Getting a bit more stuff now, thank God. And then on this final floor here, because again, like there's so many floors to this cavern. We head down another flight of stairs down to the 5th floor. And now we've our last couple of treasure chests here. And as I say, Holy will do absolute work. And then once we collect every other treasure chest, it was just the case of trying to get ourselves one encounter, which was a bunch of poison frogs. And when I say I spent 45 minutes looking for this bloody frog. The stats of our characters are going to be exponentially better, like to the point where it's insane the amount of HP and stats our characters get from just 50 minutes of consistent grinding. Amazing how like the skills and DJ still hasn't gotten like level up fist yet, so I don't know what this man has to do to get his like fists to level up to max. With all these treasures gotten, we head up here for these last 3, and that is the cave complete. Osmos is a very, very good spell, and we got the key item Crystal Rod. $19 out of 19. And then just cutting to where we eventually get our encounter. So much money, so much everything. DJ still only level 9 in his fists. Who knows what's going on. But eventually we get this bloody toad. This Gigantitoad. And with that, that's going to be our episode, my little recusants. Next episode we're going to continue on with our lovely Crystal Rod and try and get the Ultimate Tome that's sealed in Mysidia Tower. But until then, I've been the RPG Recusant. I hope you have a continued wonderful rest of your morning, afternoon or evening, depending on when you've decided to tune in and watch this episode today. And yeah, look at these stats. Look at how much our guys have grown. It's absolutely fantastic. Tainted nearly at 6k HP. And alright, I'll talk to you next time. Have a good one.